Welcome. Today, we will walk you through the complete process to replace a lost certificate of occupancy, popularly known as C of O for land in Abuja, under AGIS, that's Abuja Geographic Information Systems. Losing your C of O can jeopardize your rights to the land, which will result in either banks, registries, and authorities not recognizing your claims. Over the next few minutes, I'll guide you through step by step on how to report the loss, the documents you need, publication, verification steps, fees, timelines, pitfalls, and practical tips that will help you succeed in your application. This presentation is designed to be easy, even if this is actually your first time of knowing about it. Let's now proceed to the slides for more interactive session. Okay, we will start the slides by addressing this very important question before us. Why is it necessary to replace a lost C of O? Okay, the Certificate of Occupancy C of O is your strongest legal proof of land title under the land use regime in Abuja. If lost, you lose the ability to mortgage, sell, or transfer the land. Banks and government offices will not accept your claims. Also, with no C of O in hand, others may fraudulently claim rights over your land. So, replacing the lost C of O restores your legal rights, ensures recognition by official institutions, and protects you against multiple claims and title disputes. So it's very important that you take all necessary steps in order to replace a lost C of O, so that all that we have mentioned does not become an issue to you. Then the next issue that we have to address is who administers C of O in Abuja, and what is the role of AGIS when a C of O is declared to have been lost. In Abuja, C of O issuance, mapping, and title management is handled by AGIS, that is Abuja Geographic Information Systems. AGIS is the computerized registry under the Federal Capital Development Authority, or FCT administration, which is set up to manage land records, titles, surveys, maps, and land data. It is the central office you will have to deal with when replacing a lost C of O. AGIS digital system helps track plot records, detect duplications, and secure land administration in the FCT. So now let's take a look at the basic preliminary steps that you have to take in order to succeed in making an application for the replacement of a lost C of O. Before applying to AGIS, you must carry out basic but legally required steps. Firstly, You have to report the loss to the police and then endeavor to obtain a police loss report or extract to the effect that you actually misplaced or you have misplaced your C of O. Then the next step that you have to take is to go to the FCT High Court and swear or depose to an affidavit declaring that the C of O is actually lost or destroyed, stating how it was lost. That is to reaffirm that indeed my C of O has been lost or destroyed. After you have done that, the next step will now be to publish a public notice of that loss in 3 national dailies, and the essence is basically to invite objections. If there is anyone who feel that that your C of O should not be replaced, that will now be an opportunity for that person to come forth and give tangible reasons why your lost C of O should not be replaced. Then these steps helps basically to guard against fraudulent claims and give third parties a chance to challenge if it's actually necessary. Okay, now it's time for us to take a look at the documents and the information that you must prepare. You must put in place in order for you to have a successful application. When you approach AGIS, you will need a few bundle of documents which will have to establish your claims or your application. Firstly, you have to include your identity documents such as your national ID, international passport, and your BVN and verification number. Then also you have to put the plot number, the survey plan or the coordinates, and also the location data of the land. You should also submit the police extract that we have talked about earlier, also the sworn affidavit, and any past title document. It could be the old photocopies or any record to show that indeed you were once in possession of the original C of O. It will go a long way in order to establish the fact that it was indeed in your possession before it got lost. Also, you have to include any payment receipt you must have linked to the land or original title process. So basically, any document that will aid in order to establish the fact that indeed the C of O actually belonged to you is a welcome idea. And the more complete your documentation, the faster AGIS can verify your claims and issue a replacement. So it's very important that you make sure that all documents and information are intact, so that once it goes in, the internal review process will not take time, so that your C of O will be replaced in no time. Okay, let's now take a look at the application to AGIS. That's the submission process. Armed with your documents, you will visit the AGIS title or customer service desk. So once you head to AGIS, the first place that you have to visit is the AGIS title or customer desk in order to make your report. Then you will be expected to fill a replacement C of O application form specifically for lost title. After you have done that, you will also be expected to attach the police report, the affidavit that you have deposed at the High Court, and also the identity proof, the international passport, national identification number, or any other means of identification that will establish your personality. Then also the plots and the survey details is very important. Then the payment receipts and the ownership evidence are some of the documentations that you have to carry along with you when you are visiting AGIS and completing the lost application form for C of O. AGIS will also require that you pay a processing or handling fee that you should also have at the back of your mind before visiting AGIS. And the AGIS staff will log your application, give you an acknowledgement, and forward to their internal verification or title office for further checks. So once you have done that, all you need to do is now to exercise patience for the AGIS in order to conduct their internal verification to establish the fact that indeed there was a CFO issued to you which is now lost and needs to be replaced. Okay, a quick look at the verification and title checks and the objections. We have already made mention earlier that publication is one of the requirements in the process of replacing your lost C of O. So let's now take a look at the verification, title checks, and the possible objections that might come in the process. At AGIS, your application enters verification. They will check their records to see if there is an existing C of O on that particular plot of land that you are laying claim to. They will also check whether there are multiple claims to that particular plot. You might be claiming that, oh, I've misplaced my C of O. Someone else might also be claiming the same thing. So those are some of the internal verification that AGIS will have to put in place in order to establish the fact that there was indeed a lost C of O and it actually belongs a particular person or individual. Then another thing is, are there any encumbrances? Are there any reasons why AGIS should withhold their issuing you a new C of O? If third parties submit objections during the newspaper notice period, AGIS will assess and may require you to respond or provide extra proof. So if there is an objection, it does not simply mean that you have been foreclosed from getting a replacement of your lost C of O. It simply means that AGIS would not have to go to the extra mile in order to look at the application or the objection so as to know indeed if you actually deserve to be issued a new C of O. So AGIS will assess and may issue you to respond or provide extra proof. If discrepancies or irregularities appear, such as date mismatches, survey differences, you may be asked to submit clarification or supplementary documents in order to clear such irregularities. It's important to note that good records and cooperation reduces delay. So it's very important that you put everything in its right perspective so as to give the AGIS the good right and the needed claim in order for them to give you a new C of O and also to succeed in your application. Okay, we'll now take a look at the issuance or replacement or also recertification of a lost CFO. If AGIS is satisfied after verification and no valid objection blocks your claim, they will issue a replacement or recertification of your C of O. This new title will carry the same lease terms, that is the remaining years, and land conditions as the original. It's not as if a new CFO will be issued. All that is attached to the CFO will also be in the new one that will be replaced for you. All the other conditions attached to the lost or destroyed CFO will also be on the new one that AGIS will issue to you. It will also incorporate enhanced security features and be fully recorded in AGIS digital database, because the new CFOs being issued now has some very important security features that has made it difficult for forgery. So the new one that will be issued to you will incorporate all the enhanced security features. So they are not going to give you exactly what was lost, but all the other conditions attached to it will be there. But the new security features that differentiates it from the old one will be there for you. So your new CFO becomes recognized for all legal purposes, allowing you to enforce your land rights, transact, or mortgage as needed. Okay, let's now take a look at the estimated costs and the processing time. Replacing a lost CFO attracts several costs. It includes AGIS processing or handling fees, fees for the affidavit and court, that's the affidavit that you will depose, though it is minimal. Then publication cost for the 3 news papers that you will make is also part of the fees that you have to consider. And legal or consultant fees you may engage. That if you engage a consultant in order for the consultant to assist to facilitate the placement of the old CFO, so you have to also consider that cost, and it depends on the experience of the consultant. So the cost is not static, it differs from consultant. The timeline varies. In simple cases with clear records, it might take a few weeks, and in complicated ones involving objections or data mismatch, it could stretch to several months. So it's very important that you make it very simple for the internal review. But on the other hand, if there are objections, then you don't have any other choice than to exercise patience for AGIS in order to verify the objections of the adverse party, in order to establish the fact that actually the CFO belongs to you. So always budget for contingencies and follow up frequently, because if you don't follow up, it's very possible that your file might not get the necessary attention that it requires. So it's very important that you follow up your application to know exactly what is happening to it. Okay, it's now time for us to take a look at some practical tips and pitfalls that you have to take in order to have a successful application. To minimize stress and delay, you have to follow these tips. Now, the first is always keep certified copies and duplicates of your CFO in a safe place. So even if you misplace the original, you can also always lay claims to the duplicates, which will go a long way to help you establish the fact that the original was indeed issued to you. Then secondly, you have to maintain all proof of payment, such as the receipt and any historic document, because payment is almost like a conclusive evidence to the fact that you actually paid for the C of O which was issued to you and now lost. All that you desire from AGIS is a replacement of what they have issued to you earlier, and you have your proof of payment in order to show to AGIS. So it will go a long way in order to make their internal administrative review easy. Also, engaging a reputable land lawyer or agent to help you prepare or track your application is also a very important tip that will help you in order to fast track your application process. If AGIS sends you queries or demands more proof, it's very important that you respond quickly and completely. If you neglect it, then your application will continue to be delayed. If you don't do the needful, it will stay there forever. So it's very important that you follow up frequently in order to know exactly if a query or if there are demands for more proof, so that you can attend to them quickly and timeously. It's also very important you monitor the newspapers where you publish your notice and check if any objection arises. If an objection arises and you don't know about it, it also goes a long way in order to frustrate your application. So you have to be on top of your application. So proactive follow-up helps prevent unnecessary delays. I repeat, proactive follow-up helps prevent unnecessary delays. So once you have everything in place and you are proactive about your application, you will see everything will be tidied up within a reasonable time. Okay, I will now take a look at the checklist you can use. Right? The checklist is on your screen. It starts with the report to the police and the extract that you get thereafter. Then the sworn affidavit, and then also the published notice in 3 national dailies, and very importantly, you gather your means of identification, the plot and the survey documents, and also it's important to fill out the AGIS replacement forms. After you have done that, you will now pay your AGIS fees and submit your application. Very importantly, follow the next is to follow the verification and respond to queries when needed. Once you have done that, the next is now for you to collect your new C of O or your recertified C of O. So it's very important that you use this checklist so that you have everything all sorted out before you even start the application. So summarily, to conclude, replacing a lost C of O in Abuja is not just bureaucracy. It restores your legal control over your land. The process requires reporting the lost to the police, swearing an affidavit, public notice, then applying to AGIS with supporting documents. AGIS conducts a verification, handles objections if any, and when satisfied, issues a recertified title with the same terms as the original. So it's important that you have to be very thorough, respond quickly to any queries, and follow up so that you will have a successful application. That brings us to the end of this lecture on replacing the lost Certificate of Occupancy in Abuja. If you have any questions such as which documents to use, how long it might take in your case, or how to handle objections, please leave them in the YouTube comment sections. Alternatively, you can message me through the ICA WhatsApp line that is on your screen. I promise I will personally respond to your questions and help you through your specific case. And once more, thank you for your time and attention. And for personalized consultations, further guidance, and additional resources on how to replace a lost certificate of occupancy known as C of O in Abuja, I implore you to visit our website to access our detailed guides, case studies, and expert insights designed to keep you informed of the latest regulatory updates and best practices. You can also partner with us to leverage our deep industry knowledge and take the next step towards how to successfully replace a lost certificate of occupancy in Abuja. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to download this presentation for your future reference, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content such as this one. Thank you.